What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today I got a pretty dang juicy video for you guys. I have a ex-Call of Duty developer who said a little something on Twitter. Now, they aren't necessarily completely calling out the, Infinity Ward head devs, but honestly, it's a very subtle thing that I recognized within the post that they put out here, which I think a lot of you guys will notice as well as we dive a little bit further. But it really does expose Infinity Ward, and it showcases to me personally that they should not be working on any more Call of Duty games. And if they do work on Call of Duty games, it needs to be separate from Infinity Ward because that development team is just in a really rough spot right now. But as you can see right here from the Ghost of Hope, he went ahead and put out a post saying, "Just want to clarify that my dislike for Infinity Ward purely is directed at the head developers, who are responsible for the design decisions. I have nothing against the regular developers who are passionate and have no control over the design decisions." And Reed went ahead and responded saying, "Still hurts to hear all the hate when we're just trying to do our best with what we are asked to do." I respect this post, though. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in this community right now, the Call of Duty community, I feel like a lot of the hate does go towards the developers instead of the actual head devs at Infinity Ward. A lot of people do put the blame on the mass majority of people who are working on these Infinity Ward titles, when in reality, they're just doing what they're told. A lot of these creative decisions aren't made by them. They're just told what they need to do. They can be creative in boundaries, but these boundaries have to be kept. They must be followed, and if they branch out, they'll probably more than likely get in trouble. Yet and still, these individuals get all the hate. And I just wanted to go ahead and put forth this video to just give proof that they don't deserve hate, and we need to stop directing our energy towards the mass majority of the developers working at these teams. You might not get much out of this message, but I got plenty. Seeing this individual say that it still hurts to hear all the hate when we're just trying to do our best with what we are asked to do. That statement right there proves to me that, again, it just sucks. It really does suck to be in the situation that they're in because they are passionate developers. They want to be in the game development scene. This is stuff that they love to do. And, it's not their fault that they got put on this project. It's not their fault that they have egotistical leads. It's not their fault that they have to follow instructions just like anybody else has to do at any other job in this world. It's not their fault that they have to do this. But at the end of the day, they are still getting the majority of the backlash. Even though, again, not everybody always gives the backlash to the developers. A lot of people do hyper-focus the head devs, which is the correct thing to do. But still, at the end of the day, there's millions of people who play Call of Duty. There's bound to be a handful of people. It's more than a handful. A handful is being, nice about it. It's a lot more than a handful of people who direct the hate towards these developers. And again, all they're trying to do is just make the best out of what they can. And it's horrible because when the final product comes out, they tried. They wanted something to be good out of it. But when it comes to the overall direction of where these Infinity War titles are heading, that is completely out of their reach. But please, I don't know how many people will actually listen to me. Probably not many. That's fine. But if you do choose to listen, I'm begging you, stop hyper-focusing the developers on these games. Because if we're going to be real here, the developers working at Infinity Ward are extraordinarily talented, if not some of the most talented developers working in the Call of Duty scene. Not saying that they're better than Treyarch or they're better than Sledgehammer, but let's be real here. Infinity Ward makes banging titles. Every single time they put out a game, Modern Warfare 2019 and Modern Warfare 2, each one, we always say the same thing. It's a fantastic game, but it just has too many horrible gameplay designs that have been made from the ground up that just are fundamentals of the game that ruin the overall experience. If they were changed, the game would be good, but they never are changed. Let's be real, Infinity Ward has some of the best animators that you could possibly imagine. Their animation team is top-notch. Sound design, top-notch. The way the weapons feel, sound, look, all of the above. Infinity Ward, when it comes to realism with graphics and sound, it's out of this world. They always get so close. They give us a game that gives us that grittiness that we look for. But we're also looking for a mix of arcadiness. We don't want it to be over the top where it's a mill sim, but we still like that touch. And again, the developers working at Infinity Ward have that talent. They are phenomenal developers, but they just have the wrong leads working at the top. They have the worst people in the world pushing them in the worst direction in the world and using their talents in the wrong way. With all honesty, Infinity Ward should be shut down. They should be completely shut down, scrapped, every last bit. And I'm not trying to be mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but realistically, I just can't see anything prospering from this team anymore. The best thing to do, in my personal opinion, is scrap the team. Obviously not fire them, because I just said all these developers are extraordinarily talented. So I would prefer if they just take the developers who are working at Infinity Ward and just put them at Sledgehammer and, Treyarch. That sounds good enough to me. Sledgehammer apparently knows how to make actual gameplay when it comes to Call of Duty games at this point. Vanguard, they fixed everything that we hated with Modern Warfare 2019. Here we are with Modern Warfare 3. They're doing the same thing. They're fixing everything that we hated with Modern Warfare 2. And it sucks that they have to be placeholder games. But imagine if Infinity Ward didn't have to put together garbage anymore. They put those very talented teams on Sledgehammer. And instead of making placeholder games, now we have two teams that are fantastic, and have Sledgehammer direct the multiplayer. And then Infinity Ward, they can do stuff like animations, sound. They have so many talented people working behind the scenes. Even the people who are just simply working on gameplay. A lot of the gameplay decisions or gameplay designs in Infinity Ward games, again, those people who are designing that stuff, coding that stuff, they are following orders. Okay? They're not doing it out of their own passion. They're following orders. Well, it is their own passion because they like game design, but they still have to stick in the boundaries. So it's not just the animation team and the sound team, it's the whole team in general. They are all talented, and they could add so much to the table, especially teaming up with Sledgehammer. It's just the head devs. Take the people who are working within Infinity Ward, strip them, separate them into whether you want to put them with Treyarch, if you want to put them with Sledgehammer, it doesn't matter where you put them, and take the heads of Infinity Ward and get them the heck out of this scene. Now, I do have a conspiracy theory on why I think Activision keeps Infinity Ward in the cycle, year after year, even though their recent games have probably been the most hated. And again, I'll say that they might not be the worst of the worst because they're still clean and polished in a certain degree, but when it comes to gameplay decisions, yeah, they have to be the worst of the worst that we've gotten. They always get complained about the most, Infinity Ward games, so, there has to be a reason why Activision keeps them around, and I think I figured out why, but again, I'm going to save that for another video. For the time being, I just want us to go ahead and stop directing the hate at the wrong people. These developers who work at Infinity Ward, it sucks. It sucks to be in their position because I understand what it's like to be passionate about something. But you're put into the wrong situation, so you just get bashed on. You have to be bashed on because of the people who are ahead of you or above you, higher than your pay grade. It's horrible. It's like going to, a restaurant and then absolutely tearing into your waiter or waitress because the food isn't good. You know what I'm saying? Not because of the service, not because they're too slow, not because they're not waiting on you or ignoring you. No, they could be the best waiter or waitress in the world, but this is the equivalent of bashing on that waiter or waitress because the food came out horrible. You're not going to the cook, you're not going to the person who's responsible for all of these things. You're going to the person who is delivering it to you, and that's exactly what's happening here with Infinity Ward. Again, the cook, the chef is the head devs, and the developers are the waiters and waitresses. They're trying to bring us these games, present us these games, but we're bashing them instead of bashing the people who are actually the masterminds behind them. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, do me a massive favor, go down in the comment section and let me know how you feel about this. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'm really curious because, again, it's just an idea I'm throwing out there. This developer didn't necessarily say that, Infinity Ward bad, the head devs are horrible. But the way that this individual worded it, it really makes it seem that, again, they're passionate people, they love what they do, but they're just following orders at the end of the day. This isn't their game. This isn't their total creation. Of course, it's a mix of everybody's creation because they're all putting forth effort, but the vision is always going to be claimed by the head. And the head in this instance is horrible. And guess who gets the worst part of the situation? The developers, or aka the waiters/waitresses. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, leave a like if you enjoyed, leave a dislike if you hate it. Don't forget, subscribe, hit that bell if you want to be notified for more content. We are going to be diving deep into Modern Warfare 3 when it finally comes out on PC. I might have a few other topics, but really, I don't really think it's going to be too much to talk about with this current beta that's on PlayStation. Again, it's just on Modern Warfare 2 maps. It's not like the maps I can really discuss. I've already seen what the gameplay looks like, and I already discussed that with you guys. If anything else happens, yeah, of course, you'll get it here, but Like I said, subscribe, hit that bell so you know when that video does go live over on here. And last but not least, we do stream pretty much every day besides Sundays, so if you guys want to catch those vibes, we will be on Kick today, starting at around, I would say, 12:30 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find the link to that channel, along with all my other socials like Twitter and Discord down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.